All right, boys, we're here. Game 6, and we're entering this fully ready. I mean, like kind of going off in this end. Right at match point, and you can see the values here, right? XGG and Bauda, they're on the mark. All they need to do is be MVP and win the round, and then they win today. That's it. That's the case scenario. And we're at game 6, so it's kind of like normality. However, we do still have FPX, GG, and OUG being close. JL, KLA technically by a game of massive proportions. WBG by severe proportions, but also with ALL, Wolves, DRG, and NBPL. Still a chance to see round 7, because there is going to be a round 7. I mean, spoiler alert coming out here for this. Round 7 having its marks to be the final round. Our champions spoiled for 6 rounds in a row, or 5 rounds in a row. OUG. So OUG finds their comeback somewhere here for the 11.1s, and then they win up round 7. So off of this game 6, round selections are very, very, very crucial to the extent of what we can kind of expect to see. Maybe they got early game kills. Maybe they got end game positions to get a surplus of points. But, at the end of the day, all they need is 11.1, and they make it through. So, with that being said, game 6, wow. First round, Sand Siphon. Oh, wait a second. What's supposed to do? They did this day 3. And it worked out because they got like 7 eliminations in the Morris Isle map with it. But this is... Or Hollowoth map with this in the Snowy Forest. But near the Yushan Ruins. Kind of interesting. Okay. I'm not counting it against them. It's just like... It's really for the end circle. So we might see that coming out here. Careful enough, damn. Very careful. You gotta be very careful about how you want to do Transformers in this day and age, especially with like the triple counters coming out. But we do see Sand Siphon rushing through here for round 2. This is the makeup round. OUG rocking Sand Siphon here with the King on the Ziping, and SS for the Mad Dash Temis. Cannonballs, cannonballs, cannonballs. And Exen are about to... They're kind of running the AOT in here. There's a lot of Sand Siphons here, dog. And it's actually kind of weird. Not weird, but the fact that FPX burns into 4 points by rolling into the Temi comp just proves how much that Sand Siphon can kind of clutch a team in position ranking for kills and eliminations and placement. But that's the case scenario for that comp. That comp is just too good, too fruitful. And we're gonna go into seeing about the map selections in terms of spawns, but more so ability selections. We're not going to see any snowball comps coming out here from ALL nor WBG, but it is all right. Okay, nothing out of the ordinary. I was just quickly scanning because everyone was doing something shenanigans. No shenanigans there as well. Hey, hold up. Okay, everything's standard. F3, V3 Vipers across the board as well, with the V2 tumultuals and whatnot. See, what would throw me off is an F3 zipping, right? F3 zipping to confirm Morris Blessings, which would be crazy to me. I'll be like, brothers, what are you doing? But, just the case scenario. All right, overall spawns. So, BBE and KLA are rocking to Med-Top region. We are going to see... GG and AL by Pinnacle Town. Not only to that, XGG and JL onto the Igneous Mound, while FPX is right north of them towards the Altar of Tranquility. We're gonna see Wolves and DRG over by the Imperial Village, while, if I'm not mistaken, Bauda just hanging out by Cinnabar Valley, and the WBG and OUG on Salvation Podium. This is kind of interesting to see these spawns like this, because it's like 2, 3, 4 teams are actually converged upon one another, and then like one team just like the one team that's going for placements by themselves. That's them. They need MVP. Early game kills, though, is what OUG needs to try to utilize. So we're going to see how they kind of form out against WBG and see how the early game economy for gold for Moonbanes end up in purchasing and fighting and immediately just burning down the team down. But we'll see. XCG Kakaxi finds the best thing a player could find: armor and a weapon. And it looks like none of his teammates, besides, you know, Janan, was able to do so. Actually, Janan wasn't able to pick a weapon at all. So Night HQ is also right in tow behind them and said, we did not win the loot game. It's okay. You, though, OUG finds 2 eliminations, A Shao and Baiji. That's what they need. 3 eliminations. They actually lock out the team. They better have a shop nearby, and I better see OUG SS buys a Moonbane Charm. It's Iran. There we go. Okay, Bowda finds a Moonbane Charm right here. For the boxes, KLA finds a Moonbane Charm. That's unfortunate that there is no shop here, but we see XCG rushing in to use guys. We're gonna see Ballista shots. Misses the, you know, it's his Ballista things. Ballista has a little weird interaction where you accidentally click horizontal button press and then all of a sudden it shoots a second bolt. And you're like, no, I just wanted to shoot one. But the fact that you pressed it again afterwards is just the case scenario. Now, LSM almost a con to the enchant. TXJ just tries to find himself towards his teammates. Ooh, wow. Wowza. Very nice. 3-3-0, jump LMB, jump LMB. TXJ. LXM, F3 comes out here. LXM gets caught out here for those jump LMBs, and that's going to be JL's actually really strong start with 3 kills. Now DRG is up against Wolves over by the tree near the Imperial Village, and Perry, swiftly as can be, knocks into Moonlight's direction. That was a good switch up because that doesn't mean that there's going to be an F ability coming from Wushin. Wushin, though, finds a Dragon Slayer. F ability comes out from EG. Remember, Wolves is running Transformers. They have nothing to really kind of work off of once those F abilities are down and they have no ultimates, and it's just tough. I mean, there's so much offensive abilities, not offensive. There's so many defensive / offensive pushes that DRG has right now that Transformers can only do so much. Combo breaker that pushes back damage. Okay, cool. And then a pushback. You know, all right, cool. F ability that heals. F ability that knife frame. That's also on 20-second cooldown. That's CC control, and then a healing ability that does heal over time for damage mitigation. You know, it's like But we do see KLA look up against Revenge and say, we got you, homies. Horizontal comes out. QGG loses his weaponry. Finds a purple weapon. He's still trying to burn through with this Kurumi ultimate for some healing, and he has 2 more Fury pushes. He's waiting for an opportunity to utilize that as best as he can to push it and save his teammates and not use it selfishly. Good. Gets a parry off of Lane. Lane has F1. Pole Sword is not being able to get grabbed, but the horizontal confirmed for a horizontal there with a Fear and push. Now it's a 2v3. The separation of health and everything is one thing, but J-Hill, they got some things to say, and that's a kill off of CXZ. And as QGG backs off here, 17S, I'm not sure if he actually has any other lives. I'm not sure because they find 3 eliminations, so I'm not sure if they kind of died and spawned over by Meta, but I mean, they did, right? I don't know. JL finds the chase off of Lane, who doesn't have ultimate here. And as the chase goes on here, we're going to see Lane getting towards the Ballista, towards the Moonbeam Gorge. Of course, Army's confirmed. Lane gets caught into it. He finds a distance away from it. But he's going to have to be very careful about how he kind of wants to proceed here, because FX finds this investment, right, for Viper Ultimate against a single target. It's like, what? But then you see that ALL's Lane has his teammates with him. So I'm like, okay, you got port. Be careful. Shout out to production team. Kakaxi gets caught onto the LMB. The beacon drop is there. Zem pushes forth through that F3 and gives himself some mitigation, and Transformers can't do anything in Corey. Like, this is the difference between mobile and not mobile for these guys. So I mean, how mobile can you be if you can't be mobile enough? You know, Kakaxi gets himself in the position of actually catching out cannon shots against EG, and this is just him floating around, and EG just can't do anything about it. He can try to grab, he can try it, but Kakaxi will look right behind him, finds cannon shot number 1 to miss, number 2 though connects, and that'll be it. And as it comes through here, we're gonna see Kakaxi just move towards it, make sure that towards Grizzly Rise they can take any opportunity of backing off here if they need to, and we'll take to the position where Bowda, you know, we know where Bowda stands. Thing is that they need to get MVP. Like, they can't be safe without getting kills. So we're gonna see how long their end game position goes here. Zem has ultimate. You're gonna see him try to stay still to try to bait out the enemies from pushing, and you know, Zem gets caught into this enchant. This is actually gonna be his reason for dying. The F3 comes out here from Iran, and or peak, I should say. And I mean, the fact that he's still alive is kind of crazy, though, to be honest. But it goes down. OUG and the kill feed actually find themselves points values to eliminate BBE. BBE is fully eliminated out this round. Zem is still trying to scare us around here. Gets killed out here from R&B from Iran, and that's going to be the case scenario for Bowda's first elimination into this round. Now they're tied with XG by just points alone, but we still have to they have to hit MVP. They had to get some sort of value later on. They only have blue armor still, so well, that comes out here. Jungle music. XG looting up towards Southwestern Barracks. Kakaxi is, yeah, he's right there. He was about to push. He was about to push. But we do see this Imperial Village position that WBG is in with the DRG. Just gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. And a rebirth charm coming in from ZK for his teammate. Whether for EGen or Zem, or EG versus Zem. But the fact is this is a Dreadful Whale in the early game for a Viper is kind of crucial, unless a team takes you out first. Peak has V3. Kakaxi rushes in here. He has F3 though, so it's only for defensive measures. Nice F3 from Peak. Dreadful Whale doesn't go for immediate blue focus, but you know, it comes down towards his Moonbane that really puts Bowda in a strong position. I mean this in like all the terminology. This Moonbane could drop right now and could delete Kakaxi if he's not careful. And NIHQ in the same boat to get out of here. Moonbane charm. Peak rushes towards his Iran, just musket shotting, and Jianan gets out of there with the Farrier Shed mech, and all of a sudden it's like a final boss battle. Everyone's just kind of like, okay, that was scary. NIHQ has a purple pulse sword though, big time damage. If Bowda can take that weaponry off of these enemies, this is good by mid game. They can have a good time. They don't have purple armor, but they'll have the weaponry to kind of hold down the fort, especially with Bowda Peak to have a purple weapon for his F3. He's kind of waiting this out, finds the F3 off of NIHQ, but doesn't kick it off against Kakaxi, who finds this teleport to not be so a bit troublesome, I'll be honest. But Iran catches an ultimate for Bowda, and they kind of dip out here as a result towards their own Moonbane. But I did see a range shot confirm, and Jin is just taking that damage, you know, to no avail. But no one's here. Now remember, this Moonbane can be spotted by enemies in the vicinity, so anyone could be arriving from the northwest downwards to hit into this area, especially since the Southwestern Barracks was not too far from where DRG was. So I mean, it kind of comes out here, or not DRG, from Wolves. And, I mean, DRG is still inside of Imperial Village. They're kind of waiting this one now. Romy Yang spawning in here. Valiant Challenger from GG though, and they're actually going to the Romy Yang for it. It's great value. No one's chugging towards them, so that's one thing. But it's also to, like, if they win the Romy Yang, and if they actually big value, if they just hang out in the Romy Yang and buy for time, they get 12k gold, or not 12k, 6k gold for the team. So now there's another final boss fight. FPX versus JL. Into this Romy Yang, we're gonna see Dongqing go to the sky here as of Takeda. He has, I'm assuming, V3 at level 1. Yeah, it's level 2. But Dongqing uses his ultimate here. This is a full confirmation for him not to get this instant chant. If he tries to kill confirm TXJ, right, it's not gonna be allowed because of VVV's pressure here. VVV right there on the money. RMB comes out here. RF3 actually comes out. The V3 kills off FX, and even with the hit stagger from the Viper, another Tesla ultimate is readily available from VVV. They find TXJ, they find a parry, they find the kill. Yo, FPX is just farming up for the points. And now into the other fight. GG versus OUG. The King is in a dilapidated state here with taking those shots, and obviously SS is in the same spot, but he still doesn't stop here with the V2 being active. A nice horizontal to switch it up here against 330, who does go to midair, but CGS might be looking to try to get SS out of here with that grapple strike. Gets caught out. He can't do anything about it. Just buys time for his team. It looks like Alexander does go down as it's going to burn into this placement. OUG, the King, finds his Dreadful Well kick to work. It's so much in his favor. And even though he gets himself into shunt position, we're going to see him regroup with 330, who does get eliminated from the backline, and a focus slide. OUG gets his win. Big time dubs. Big time dubs. Gold pole sword too for Cicada? You shouldn't have. They're actually going to give it to Yeah, they're gonna go Takeda. I mean, we've seen SS do some shenanigans with the pole sword, right? You know, comes out, but XCG has White Tiger's prowess, most likely off of a Morris Blessing. I'm actually didn't even look at the overworld map and seeing if there was a Morris Blessing. I could do that right now. Where are we at? 49. Morris Blessing, which was located, yeah, right there. So yeah, I mean, they get the Morris Blessing. They're kind of working off of that end. For the White Tiger's prowess, I mean, the value comes out of it if they find people to hunt down, and they're going straight towards where people are going to be in City of Tang, which is exactly where OUG stands still. Remember that, you know, even though some of those OUG members have blue armor, XCG needs to be very careful about how they kind of want to proceed with this, because the heal over time is great and all, but you now rushing in here, this is exactly where XCG is kind of anticipating this from happening. Like, we got to be careful. We need open area in order for ourselves to have scare rushable positions or not to be locked in. And you're gonna see, I feel like we're gonna see some this is where U is gonna use ultimate big time, like big time, because U gets caught to his F3 in the silence, right? He backs off here. He needs to get ultimate now, forces to push, gets some healing back, has Vermilion Burst Might. White Tiger's prowess comes out here to play for some heal over time for XCG, but I don't think XCG really can do much against this V2. They get the kill off of the King. That's one stack. That's a heavy stacker against you. You is late to the party here with all those burns, Fury Blast, or rather two of those Fury Blasts to be burned, and on the ground is where SS will end up going. Cannon shots coming out here from Jianan. Kakaxi gets himself a kill off of you. That's kill number 2. All they need is one more elimination to get a full stack of damage mitigation for range and melee resistance of 6% for melee, 9 for range. They get this elimination here. This is kind of like the best case scenario for these guys, and it's gonna be the case. There they go. Hey, XGG breaking into eliminations, man. They're trying to make sure they get for match point. This could be it. This could be it. But we know the real story. We know they're kind of staying on business. So when this comes through, Kakaxi will look towards and making sure of locking the spot. Now replay comes out here from earlier. Bauda is gonna go ahead and, you know, just try to force positions against DRG, and as his Dreadful Will comes out here, we do see Peak gets himself caught out here for another Dreadful Will. Unfortunate. This is where Bauda drops. No, this is the yeah, that is where Bauda drops, bro. No. You know, it's crazy because Bauda is the other match point team, so for them to drop that early, it's like, you know? It really is, you know? XCG has a chance here, but they still need to beat MVP. And their opponent has 11 eliminations. JL is rocking this matchup into the bone of things, and OUG is about to hit match point with them and FPX as well. This is a possibility of hitting a 5 match point team position of winning this week 1 finals. And I don't know, man. It's just really, it really will come down towards it. LXM coasted to the distance. They're gonna see about him catching up to Lane and ALL. And these guys kind of backing off here. LMBs to jump LMBs. F1 in midair. Bo goes ahead, backs off. He's like, I don't want anything with 3-3-0. We're more specifically with GG here. Revenge is in the zone. Cannon shots is not confirmed for the first shot, second shot, or the third shot. He does have another one ready to go for 3-3-0. He's going for swarms, but not enough range. He's out of the sight. He left the hitbox field of 100 meters. And we'll see him try to confirm this shots against Revenge into his corner. He doesn't really need to do so anymore because he has his team to kind of work off that end. So GG picks up another elimination. Not another elimination. That was their first elimination. And that's actually for them from Romy Yang. And Bo says, hey, yo, chill. What are you doing here, bro? What are you doing here? GG is getting ambushed by Lane. Luckily, Lane dodges that swipe. But Bo gets a chance of seeing about what's the deal here, and all of a sudden I don't know what happened for ALL to try to get a third party off a team that was kind of fully ready, but they get back into the game and with 3 eliminations lock out ALL. I don't know what happened there for Bo and for Lane, and we know what happened to Revenge. Dímelo, like Revenge was by himself. And onto the case for Bo and Lane. Find the time to reset, get away for rebirth terms if they can, or even for Morris Blessing. Even though the Morris Blessing here is right next door, right? It's like Mystic Might, it's perfect. DRG, though, are right there to kind of work for it, but they're not going to pick up the Rebirth Charm. They're just going to unlock it. WG is going to go ahead and invade it, and that's it. That's case scenario. Romy Yang, though, is going to enter here for OUG and KLA. You know this is the reason. OUG needs to get in there regardless. Those 3 eliminations can crucially put them in the spot of just catching match point, but then they also need to make sure they eliminate. They gotta accumulate as many points, because let's say we don't hit match point. Let's say players don't win rounds 7 through 8 or 8, or even in this round, hypothetically, right? Because we know that 7 is the last round. The one thing that comes out of it is that at the very end, they need to get their accumulation of points. Like, it's just whatever their point value is at the very end, and they get it. And it's not to be like so much of a difficulty for it, but it's like, you know, I'm just trying to find a basis of, getting that susceptible lead. It's too important. Now, 8 eliminations for OUG. They find this win in a Romy Yang, they get their necessary kills to be only like a 0.1 difference for match point. But you know, we'll see. Pole sword, golden bowl sword comes out here. You actually has Blistering Edge as a pole sword wielder, so this is huge, but we're gonna see VVV look towards his V3 Viper ult. Not gonna have much value as TXJ just gets fully slammed down here. This Wu Chen port was not the idealistic one. It was right when they started too. And a whole check in the R. Wow, that was... I don't know. The timing off of the V3 Viper is like, you can see it actually work against them in their favor due to the position that they didn't stop SS from using his ultimate. The tether didn't align to him as fast as they were hoping for, because he finds his pillar and immediately ults once he gets a break a line of sight from that tether, and then he goes right back in. Doesn't matter. You gets his horizontal with the Stoneform proc and gets a kill with the RMB after the Fear and Blast, and then obviously that ultimate from FX forces his team into position towards where they just were fighting off of their home turf, and they didn't reposition their ultimate due to that. It's tough, but it is what it is. You know, it is kind of coming off of that end for the value of it. So I mean, coming off of this end, you know, we will see how much this kind of comes off of that's funny. Oh, that's really funny. Seeing how that comes off of the push coming through for this week, for that week. But I mean, it's kind of a big deal to seeing how these guys kind of worked off their end. So we should be able to see that coming through to be ready for it. You know, for OUG to make their rounds into this round, they only need one. That's it. They made a match point, and that's all they really needed for now. But now it's all to, okay, victory round, right? Points, because XGG is still at the lead. And yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at schedules, and I'm just trying to make sure I'm catching something right, because I want to make sure and seeing about something on a point. This kind of came out left field. I'm trying to double check about the scheduling about this for it. Interesting. Sorry, but we will go ahead and see about you getting caught into this enchant. Trying to see about where this kind of comes through for this play, and actually just being able to see where these guys kind of stand off of chasing their opponents back to back. So, you know, being careful with it. You goes ahead and chases this one out. We do see that you really just puts the pressure on between both these opponents, and of course we see you just trying to chase down SS as a result. And for what it's worth as well, right? With OUG, like, this is a staple comp for them. XGG is running a cannonball comp, and they're not doing this exceptionally well, but they're still pulling their punches here. But this comp for them now, for OUG, is like, now it's like, okay, who's the best Sand Siphon comp? And I was like, I'm gonna mark this out, because KLA now gets caught out here for XGG 9HQ, and also for the past 2 minutes, it was like it's pretty big stagnant time, at least to the extent. But KLA is actually in a really bad spot because they're actually losing to Roman Yang depletion right now. We actually could see them die here in maybe a minute or so from Roman Yang depletion. So I have to be careful about seeing about how they kind of want to work this one out. Another set from Blast. QGG goes down. Nice Q. XEG. I mean, listen, like I said, XEG, this would have been their... This definitely is a game perplexed for the value of what it's worth, but it's kind of like, you know, they can get stopped in, like, we saw teams get wiped in less than 3 seconds. And I mean like full swipes. Like Jianan just got eliminated just like that. You know, that's perfect. They don't have their Fairy Shen Beacon. Perfect. JL CXJ is locking in KLA CXZ. And as it comes out here, boom, they find 17S to teleport, and then they go for the enchant, and they go for the kill. Kakaxi gets his F3 off even after the F1 comes out here from the ultimate. But I mean, more importantly, right now for Kakaxi, he's looking to back row damage and push out these guys while he gets out of here. For XEG, this is just live another day type basis, and so many eliminations are being picked up by OUG and JL that for XEG to pick up 8 eliminations when they just lost to Fairy Shen, this really just puts the denial effort of we may not win this round, but you know, it is what it is. Or rather, we won't win the finals because of this round, but it is what it is. We have next round to kind of work off of. XEG nice Q, lockdown, done. It's tough. It's tough. It really is tough. Kakaxi trying to buy his team back. Notice this. There ain't nothing for him to buy back. There's no Rebirth Charms or nothing. So he can't do that. We got 9 minutes. We got 2 more Moonbanes to drop. And then, of course, we do have the opportunity here for this team to kind of work through and make things happen. I'm not sure what Water is kind of looking forth, or not Water. I'm not sure what OUG is kind of looking forth here, but this ballistic shot right here for DPX is detrimental. He uses ult to mitigate the secondary ballistic shot if it were to happen, and as well as any range shots coming out here from his opponents. But he looks to back off here. You enchanted. I love how SS burned that range shot that FX was trying to earn off of Yu's enchantment state, but. Yeah, that was pretty good. And with everything coming out from SS and kind of keeping the team together, he also has ultimate. As Yu has no ultimate and has golden pole swords. So, I mean, it's pretty good. We could see that chance of coming through in terms of these players. But more importantly, like just to see about where, you know, Ballista comes to play the grief. This is where it comes to the stagnation in the last 8 minutes. Let's take a look and see, because down on the ground you can see FPX is actually still in there from the bunker, and then GG is like, oh, whoa, whoa. CJS is like, hey, we're my team. So you know, repositions come out left field here for them, and as CGS kind of works off of that idea, we will be able to see this is where things are just really stagnant. No one wants to push anything. I mean, GG's over by the box. We're going to see some Jades being picked up to the immense amount. Armor Pierce, though, coming out from who? From 330? Who's got the musket? I don't see a musket. He took a real shot, though. I'm curious. It's got to be CJS, right? No, it was 330. It was 330. I saw it. Okay, so 330 is actually the musket wielder. For Armor Pierce, so that should be interesting. And oh man, you know, it kind of comes down towards FPX kind of like eliminating the bracket to be catching themselves into match point. But holy smoke of runs, these guys have everything. I think even the Poison Jades, or Poison Jade for LXM. So that's pretty good. That's pretty snazzed. Because CGS, GG is like he's fighting a one-man army, man. I don't know. CGS is actually like in the face of danger, right? You can get caught out here, but there's no wisp. As long as he doesn't see a tumultuous, he ain't gonna be pushing. Like he ain't gonna fear anything. Like as long as that happens, as long as that doesn't happen. But I think this is where things are about to get a little bit more spicier. VVV sees towards chasing out SS. Bow shots is a bow shot. Golden Pole Sword is just, you know, VV's biggest like benefit here, especially as the Viper, so he can block off anybody and then catch an F3 to their face, or even a Stone Form release. And if he does have Blistering Edge, to do that as well. If he finds in the future, perfect. Excuse me. But we are gonna see GG in predicament. You know, I called him out saying that, hey man, he's fearful. You know, he's not afraid in the face of danger. But when he's on a lower hill, he can take cannon shots for free, and it's not good. So they look to use Fairy Shed Mech as 330 is now without ultimate for beacons. You're gonna see how much CGS really cares about these shots, cause water, man, he's falling down. He's like a water bowl. And LXM, don't do that. I felt like what he was trying to do is like bait him out to like, yeah, I'm gonna push you, and then he just finds that rock perfectly. CGS finds these shots though. Big cruciality of just beacon placement, and then 330 hasn't been able to build up a rage as a result. This is actually really tough for GG because the fact that the Fairy Shed wasn't able to build up rage and being in Fairy Shed mode just kind of denounces that push of pressure, because what it comes down to is for 330 to find enemies to hit in nearby proximity. That's where Wu Chen comms kind of come out to peel, where you peel off the Wu Chen wall with a cannon and hit them with the proximity shots of the Ruptured Gale Orb or just cannons in general. And it didn't have the opportunity there. And I think this is going to cost GG just a little bit more time that they were trying to they could have used to capitalize off of that on, because it wasn't a full utilization of that of the beacon. It was really more for insurance, which is okay. But with GG actually holding this corner, DRG having this side of the pillar while FPX holds the other end, you're gonna see some back and forths here that kind of dissuade them from hey, don't stand still, to then get caught out by another team, right? That's that pressure coming out. And you're gonna see CGS looking towards scare rushing towards the sky or towards the top of the pillar. And off of this end, we are gonna see how much value this comes into the last 4 minutes, because this OUG position is, oh man, it sucks that XUG is down. It's not the case scenario, but it's also the case scenario that 16 kills eliminations, man. That's crazy to me. And they still have 12 players to kind of work off of. I don't know. LXM kind of scary with it. You could use a roar here, right? Doesn't get it in time. It's all right. Ooh, maybe not. Okay, that roar would have actually saved him there. That's actually pain. That's actually pain. That's pain, because I'm like, LXM had technically the time to use roar like after this roar, but he held LMB, and this is where it falls because he didn't use the roar to stop the Takeda or to mulch with the mitigation, or even having the wind wall immunity. And 330 goes down as well with LXM. The ERG cooking right now with the 9 eliminations. Double parry from CJ. Oh my goodness. A miraculous parry, not only to that, but also to the long handle step. CGS said, fight me. Gold staff. All that armor gone. Even past the armor too. Wait. He actually almost killed off SS, right? No, SS just lost his armor too. Yeah, that's crazy to me. Stanchion Sky Pillar 2, Merciless Havoc. Oof, gets parried though. Doesn't lose out a lot, but he does get caught to double RMBs, double verticals. Scarush is up, has Pole Sword, gets caught to the stagger. Very nice from SS. That was a very nice, clean, neutral damage from the Scare Rush to the jump LMB. Watch how SS catches a Scare Rush, jump LMB. LMB is a confirm. He tries to think about the parry, but he gets another Scare Rush into another jump LMB, and then all of a sudden you get to kill with a musket shot. Very nice. And obviously you has ultimate, so he does have a chance here to kind of push everyone away from the zone. Picks up the soul wound just in case of anything. Doesn't use ultimate here. Doesn't feel the need to. Once they push him, right, then he can just counteract with them. So off of this end, we are going to see you go for some heals. DRG coming off to the pillar side. We're going to see Dongqing also almost get caught out here for a majority of things. Another Merciless Havoc. I don't know, man. I mean, FPX has this kind of down in the bag, but we would be able to see this coming through here. Most definitely. Nice Aurora Burst coming out from water. Hold on a second. Catches them again. Another hit off the ends. Water goes ahead. Locked through. Moonlight almost caught into the R&B there. We're going to see Phoenix Blast coming to be revealed. Dongqing has ultimate, but he uses F1 instead. He's like, oh, man, gets parried. Oh, man. FX is down, though. Yo, FX is done. Nice. Dongqing finds a Soul Bloom. Has the R&B to re-release. Does have another 2 set of Fear and pushes. He waits for Dongqing. Dongqing has V2 now, coming off from the Zipping Ying. Shout out to the homies. But I think one thing that's going to come out to issues here now that OUG is in this front line. Okay, will they have 20 eliminations in this round? Will they get a surplus of points to work through for the next rounds to come if they don't hit to match points between now and then? We'll have to see, because OUG gets caught out. Dongqing has ultimate again. He's got the cast. He's got the Aurora Burst to worry about, but Dongqing falls through. Ooh, you better get Scare Rush up, because he loses out the bulb. He knocks the king out, continues to just keep the pressure and keeps the stanchion, and that's another eliminations for FPX. They're currently climbing these eliminations. R&B doesn't get parried, and Dongqing's like, yeah, I got F1, but you know, longsword beams are longsword beams. I'm not gonna worry about it. And that's gonna actually lose out on a 20 bomb for OUG, but FPX, even though they don't get MVP, I'm pretty sure OUG gets that. These guys are gaming. Point values for this game comes out to 29.1 for OUG, so a near 30-point game. FPX for that 23.6, 22.3 for JL. This is really, the fact that these top 4 aren't the match point gamers kind of like makes it like, you know, like to kind of like see where that competition lies within. But we do see to the standings here, obviously, for these guys to support gamers. 19k healing from the king. And then standings are into the bottom 6, or the top 6, I should say. OUG at 92. They're at the lead overall. An 89.2 for FPX and XG for 87.6. JL with an 82.6, 78.5. 5 match point gamers. GG, literally shy of 0.9, or not 0.9 actually, shy of 2.9 to actually make it towards the finals. And I don't know, that's just the basis of it. We're gonna see how this ends up in game 7, man, the final game, and an MVP of that round being majority U. First MVP, Armor Pierce. We saw that. Aurora Burst, quick to damage, man. Pulse was 10k. Blistering Edge, Focus Slide. That's the setup right there. And slow shot with that Armor Pierce with a musket, like musket 3188. That could have been someone's death because of that. And he also had that the Honk Sword to keep the swordsmanship up for damage, and you know, at that point. But round 7 commences here. We're gonna go ahead and switch out for the last section of the video. I appreciate you guys for watching, because we're gonna go ahead and having this to be the end of the recording, but we do appreciate any sort of feedback, any sort of suggestions. Of course, my name is Severio from Caster, and I'll see you guys until the next part coming soon right now.